Now, my main thought going into Shelby Oaks, especially knowing Chris, was please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck. Because I didn't want to be the person who didn't like my friend's debut feature. But thankfully, Shelby Oaks kind of rules. And look, you can call this review biased all you want. I've actually given you license to do so. But I'm going to tell you why I think this is a really strong debut and why I think Chris is a voice to watch in horror. God, it makes me so happy just saying that out loud. Now, the first thing that really grabbed me when watching Shelby Oaks was the filmmaking. I think this is a really well-made, well-crafted film, really well-directed film. I think Chris did a fantastic job directing this movie. I think there's an amazing sense of atmosphere, especially early on. He utilizes different formats to really pull you in, whether it's found footage or documentary style or just regular narrative filmmaking. It's this mixture, this cocktail of all three of those styles that really makes this a unique horror experience. And I can tell Chris's influences are all over this thing in the best ways possible. I mean, I see shades of James Wan, of M. Night Shyamalan. I see, shades of Blair Witch thrown in there. I mean, I see his influences on full display here, but these aren't just ripoffs. These are loving homages while adding his own signature twist to give himself his own singular voice. And I dug it. And what I love about Chris is since he's seen so many horror films is that he knows how to actually scare you. There actually are some pretty solid jump scares in this thing. You got me, Chris. You got me a couple times. You got me. Where he plays with your expectations. He makes you think that a scare is going to happen this way or something's going to appear there, but then he subverts those expectations. He sidesteps them. And sometimes he builds up to a scare that maybe doesn't happen and just kind of toys with you a little bit. It's very playful direction, great editing as well, terrific sound design in this thing. I think that's a character in and of itself. And I think the two central performances here from Sarah Dern and Camille Sullivan are really strong. I think Sullivan is phenomenal in this movie. She makes for a really likable protagonist that you can emotionally invest yourself in. I like the fact that the script fleshes out the story of her and her sister leading up to her disappearance and kind of memories from their childhood and makes the relationship feel lived in and authentic to a point where you can kind of emotionally invest yourself in their story, especially as Mia tries to hunt her sister down. And then you have the story of the film, which definitely feels like this loving melting pot of a bunch of different movies that we've seen before, but I think it's done here in a unique, fresh way that I really enjoyed. I found myself very invested in the story. I found myself locked in the majority of the film. This is a really well-paced movie too. I felt like I was on the edge of my seat throughout, and the central mystery got me. It hooked me. My favorite kinds of horror films are the ones that creep you out, that get under your skin, that linger far after you leave the theater, and that's what I really liked about Shelby Oaks, is that, yes, it has some moments where it tries to really make you jump out of your seat, but for the most part, this is a movie that tries to get into your head, crawl under your skin, and I think it's really successful at doing that, and you can tell that Chris, after watching so many films, especially horror films, that he knows his way in here, and I think that he puts that on full display here.